How to get things done when you've got no time. Hello everyone, John here. Can you believe it's episode 77, Marketing for Owners podcast? I couldn't either. Time flies when you're enjoying yourself. However, no matter how time flies, it is not easy getting all this stuff done. And believe me, I do lots and it is overwhelming day after day after day. Despite the fact I do get things done, there's a never-ending list of things that don't get done. There's a phrase or a saying about how do you eat an elephant? And the answer is one bite at a time. So that's what I'm going to encourage you to do, is to break tasks down into smaller tasks, bite-sized chunks if you like, and get those done. Each little mini task adds up to a major task and then it's done. There are lots of methods. I've tried them all, but when it comes down to it, most agree that anything should be broken down into bite-sized chunks that all add up to get the whole thing done. So we're going to reverse engineer. Now, take for example something like, content creation. We talk about writing. You need to write, you need to produce content. Of course, you don't have any time. You already had a full-time job before I came along and told you have to do all these things to make your life easier. Because unfortunately, to make your life easier, it has to get difficult to get easy. You know what I mean? No pain, no gain, all that kind of stuff. So let's look at something like blog creation or writing creation, saying that perhaps you don't do it, you outsource it to someone in your team or a freelancer or a writer you know. Obviously we've talked about that, so I won't go into that detail. So first of all, you have the project. You wish to get 3 posts written per week, for example. One thing with writing, you need to be consistent. So whatever you commit to, if it's 1 a week, if it's 2 a week, you've got to be consistent and stick to it because that's what people will come to expect from you. So, and you don't want to do it week by week by week. We actually organise ours in quarters. We do 3 months worth at a time. We organise our entire calendar, content calendar, in 3-month chunks. But that's for another day. So what we do, we're going to take 1 month. So 3 posts a week. Let's call a month 4 weeks, and that's 12 posts. So if you look at writing 12 posts, say you're going to write 1,000 words, we generally shoot for around 1,400 to 1,700 words because we like to give you that little extra. So let's say we're shooting for 12 posts, 1,000 words. You're going to think, when on earth am I going to get to do that? But firstly, look at the goal. Don't look at the look at the goal. The goal is to have constant content on your site to produce more leads and to give information to your clients. The result of that will be increased sales, happier clients, more leads. So start with the goal in mind and then think, so it's worth doing. Then look at the problems. What is the problem? I don't have time to write. I don't have any titles. I don't have any keywords. I don't have images. My grammar and spelling and English is not really good enough. Write those down in a list. Of course, there may be many other things. Oh, and I don't know how to upload, once it's written, how to upload it onto my website. Now, those would be your problems. Now we're going to look at how to solve them. So say, for example, I don't have any keywords. And now perhaps you don't know how to do keyword research. So we go to something like Fiverr, $5 each thing that gets done, and we ask someone there to do. So assume you don't need to do it. The answer is outsource to a specialist Fiverr keyword researcher. Next one, I don't have blog titles. And the answer of that is, once keyword research is done, ask staff members, key staff, about questions customers ask about your products to come up with titles. Include the keyword in the title. Do you see how I'm going? You do this one by one and you work through the list. So for instance, you get to the one that says, my English is not good enough, I'm not a good enough writer. Then you have possibly find outsource writer, write instructional brief or summary or synopsis, give example. Possibly you know a couple of good blogs that have written about a similar subject that are good to use for research, and give to a writer. Now you're thinking, what about the editing or checking? That's going to be another one on your list. So maybe you're no good at that. If you think your grammar's not good enough, you don't have time, you just don't like doing it. I don't. Again, Fiverr. People will proofread, professional proofreaders. These are not people in Timbuktu, wherever that is, non-English speaking. These are American, Canadian, Australian English native speakers of your language who choose to offer their services for $5 because they're very good at it. They will do generally up to 1,500 words for $5. That could be one post, could be two posts. You get it proofread professionally. Some of them will do the edits for you. They'll use markup. Anyway, you get the gist. It will get done. That's another task. Once you've got all of those tasks in a line, you can then start to map it out. So the process would be keyword research, followed by getting those titles, followed by writing the summaries, followed by giving it to a writer, followed by proofreading, followed by image creation. Now, graphics, you're going to perhaps go to Canva. Canva's dead easy, and use something like Unsplash or Dollar Photo Club or whatever. Look in our tools guide, marketingforowners.com/tools. We've got the places where we get our images from in there, or some of them. And then you're just going to put each one down there in a line. The next one is in a timeline, in a little calendar, you can estimate how long these will take. I recommend, by the way, if you're giving out, say, 12 articles to someone, ask them to give them 4 at a time or something like that, so that you get back 4 at a time, so you're not overwhelmed with someone who's written all 12 and then they want paying because they finished, and you've got to read and proofread all 12 in one go. Okay, catch my drift? Yes. So map that out in a timeline, and you're going to think to yourself, okay, it will take X for the keyword research. I'm going to give it out on day 1. It will come back on day 3, perhaps. Then you need to set by, say, 2 hours to write the titles. Maybe 2 hours on one day, 2 hours on another day, so your head doesn't go spinning. And then set another day and a time to write the little synopsis list, and then another day to go to the writer. Think to yourself, oh, writer's going to take a few days, let's give that back, and then on that day give them some more. But don't forget, in this management, you can be having those proofread while the writer's writing some more, and you can be doing the graphics and the uploading the coding. Again, you can find people to upload, although if you're using WordPress, it's a WYSIWYG. If you can use Word, you can use WordPress. It works like that. So you break these down, you get the task done, and suddenly each task is like a 1 or 2 day thing that takes 2 hours of your time, instead of an overwhelming, I've got to write 12 posts of 1,000 words, when am I going to fit that in? Before you know it, 2 weeks have gone and you've got 12 posts. You've got a month's worth. That took you 2 weeks. It took maybe, on average, it took an hour or 2 hours of some days during those 2 weeks. Do you get me? It's not that hard. It gets done. Next time you're going to do 24. Next time you're going to do 36. And eventually you'll get it down to a 3-week period where or 3 or 4 weeks where you'll get 3 months worth of content written without much of your time involvement at all, professional, uploaded, ready to roll, job done. And that's just one way how we get things done without taking up your time. Okay, now getting a bit long this one, but it's a Tuesday. I'm going to give you a toolbox tip, something to help you commit. There is a fantastic app. I use this every day, by the way. It's called Commit App. So just Google Commit App, app A-P-P. The actual website is thinklegend.com/commit. It's written by a guy called Nathan Barry. It's dead simple. I think you have to pay for it, but it's like a couple of dollars. And it just sends you a reminder at the end of every day at a time you set on your iPhone or Android that says, did you do X? Did you do your 10 push-ups 3 times today? Did you write 500 words today? When you're trying to develop a habit, it reminds you to do it. You do it, you tick it off. It says you have done that for 173 days in a row. It just works. It's simple. Honestly, trust me, piece of cake. Go have a look. It will change your life. Bye.